I love playing volleyball, so I tried animating a smash attack. Here is what I got at my first attempt. It felt stiff. Then I applied the first principle of animation, squash and stretch. I feel like there is a glow up. It feels way more dynamic, right? So if I understood my studies correctly, squash and stretch represents mass and speed. For example, when an object is falling, rather than keeping the same form, it will stretch gradually while gaining speed. Here, it is just before touching the ground that the ball has the most speed, so that's where it will be the most stretched. Now, this is what it would look like. Also, when the object touches the ground, it will squash depending on its mass, what it's made of, and of its momentum. For now, we have a very rigid bowling ball, but if I add squash, we get a squashy water balloon. But when applying a squash and stretch, be careful to always remember the golden rule: conservation of volume. If you squash it down, it must get wider. If you don't, it looks like the ball is shrinking. If you stretch it, it must get thinner or the ball will look like it's growing. Forgetting this rule is one of the most important errors to beginners like me, so be careful. I do hope everyone paid attention to the theory. Now let's get to practice. Let's apply squash and stretch to my volleyball. First, I stretch the ball where it has the most speed, when leaving the player's hand in the beginning of the arcs and after the smash. Then I squashed it when the player touched it, so a bit on each pass and a lot when it was smashed to show that there is more power in the smash. We can already see a difference. You can and should apply this first principle to everything you animate, to express the emotions of your characters, to enhance the movement. So now let's fix my smasher. I squashed him before jumping because it is a moment where there is a lot of pressure on his legs. Then I stretched him in the beginning of his jump where he has the most speed, and I squashed him again when he landed because there is only the mass coming down. Here we are. Can you see the difference between the two pictures? I think there is a little difference and it looks better on the right. See you in the next video where I will tackle the second principle, anticipation.